Hey everyone, welcome back. Thanks for tuning in. Today we're going to be talking about Bitcoin, and a key indicator to watch that could lead us into some insight on what the price action could do for the next month or so. So before I dive in, let me just say if you do like and enjoy this content, please like and subscribe to the channel. So let's dive in. So first off, let's just talk about what's happened so far today. This is July 1st. Um, Unfortunately, we were not able to hold this support level. And not only did we fall through that line, we fell back through our resistance line, and we are currently underneath the second support level. This level was generated back on the 8th of June when we had that huge dip down to like 28,000 or so, or 31,000, I'm sorry, and came back up and closed at this level. And then you see this candle here on the 20th of June tap that level and came back up. So this is definitely a level of support. So we'll see what happens. We still have, four hours and 40 minutes left on this daily candle. We'll see if it closes above. Um, there's one thing to note since um, this last dip, if you want to call it that, at 31K, we had never uh, tested this level as a true support. So, I mean, we did have one tap here, and then we broke through it. So we need to see another test of this support. Um, Now, if we stay below this resistance line, if we close below this resistance line, we never truly invalidated it, unfortunately. We did have the one break, close, and close above, but since we're going right back through it again, we haven't fully like we haven't fully changed this resistance line into a line of potential support. So what we could see happening is we have this convergence of this resistance line with this ultimate line of support. Um, Ideally, what we all want is to see this line of support kind of beat out this line of resistance. You see the convergence point is on the 5th or 6th, so that'll be what, Monday and Tuesday of next week. So just keep an eye out on that. But what I truly want to look at today, and I think what I ultimately think is a key indicator to give us some insight on what the price action might do for the rest of the month is the relative strength index here. So let me just zoom out here and show you guys, what I'm seeing here. So if we go back to the beginning of our initial move up to new highs, you can see we created a high on the RSI here at about, what is this? On the 8th of January. On the 8th of January, we created this high in the RSI. Now we were above the 80% level, so that kind of tells you that this thing was, overbought. But since that point, our relative strength index has created this downtrend where even though we were creating new highs, the relative strength was creating new lows, like higher lower highs. And since the 8th of January, we have not been able to break this trend line. So you can see we've created peaks along the way. And now we're at the point here coming into, mid-June where we've created this peak and we have this uptrend. So we were creating, lower highs and lower lows along the way, and then eventually we had a turnaround where we created the lowest low, and this is on the 20th of May, and we started having an uptrend here. And that's where you see this consolidation point. Right where we had our point of consolidation is where we created this uptrend. Now, where does that leave us for the future? So you see we've been tapping it. Let me zoom in actually so you guys can see a little bit better. We're still tapping this line, and we just tapped it on the 29th of June, and that was when we had that breakout. That's where we tapped the RSI. So we didn't break this trend line. What could happen is you could see us, consistently going up and down through this wedge pattern until ultimately the RSI has to make a decision. Do we follow this uptrend and then potentially see an uptrend in the price action? Or do we continue with this line of support that's been validated for the last 6 months? Or, I'm sorry, line of resistance has been validated for the last 6 months. If you want to put a timeline on it, it looks like this wedge will converge, or these two lines will converge at on the 17th or 18th of July. So, what I predict, what I think could happen with this price action is we could see just a lot of consolidation here until the RSI has to make a choice, or the price action has to make a choice rather. And are we going to continue with this uptrend, or are we going to follow this resistance line and potentially create a lower low? That's something to look out for. And I do believe that that is going to be a signal. So just keep a lookout on this RSI.